How do you set your prices?
Research. I know Wes and Anthony and I talk about all the time. Find what everyone's paying. Don't be shysty and like call someone and try to act like you're not going to do the job. But when you know what they're charging, charge more.
Just to echo on that sentiment, the best way for you to make enemies in the pooper scooper niche is pretending to be a customer and reaching out for a quote or asking someone like, what are your prices, and being like a prospect. Because like as a business owner, every time you get a new request, you're so excited, you're so happy, and then when you realize it's a fake, you immediately just want to block that person, and you're dead to them. So just be honest. If you're going to talk to your competitors, I mean, talk to them. Don't pretend to be someone else, and especially don't submit a request or ask for a quote if you're never going to do service with them.
We've all said it multiple times. When you're setting your prices, don't race to the bottom. Don't. The minute you put yourself $1 under somebody's going to dollar you, somebody's going to dollar them, you're going to have to $2 yourself. There's no value in being the cheapest person in the building. There is high value in being the most expensive.
If you want to figure out what your prices are, a good way to start is figure out what your hourly rate needs to be. So if you need to quit your job, hypothetically, right, and you're making $25 an hour, odds are by the time you add in all your expenses, right, you're probably going to need to gross probably somewhere closer to $40 to $50 an hour. Probably. I mean, I could be wrong, right? And then you figure out how many yards you can do. When you first start, you're probably going to do 2 to 3 yards per hour. And that's if you're lucky, depending also on how far apart your two clients are, right? Your right. So the bigger your territory, the further your clients are potentially going to be, right? So then you want your route density to increase, and then that increases efficiency. Then you can do more yards per hour essentially. But you want to figure out roughly what your hourly rate is. Just figures can need to be 40 to 50 an hour, and you need to be able to do 2 to 3. So then take that 40 to 50, divide it by 2 or 3, and it's going to give you a rough idea on what you're going to need your average ticket to be, right? And then go from there, right? Some people charge the flat rate, for we just show up to the yard, no matter how many dogs you have, this is what we charge. Some charge all sorts of different ways to do it, but you know what your target rate needs to be and figure out the best way you want to meet that.
I always recommend at least $8 a minute, because that would be $60 an hour. But if you're planning for scale, if you want growth, if you want healthy margins, because once you start onboarding more people, more employees, you have to pay for unemployment tax, benefits, social security, all sorts of stuff. If you can get closer to $2 an hour or more, that would be super, super beneficial for your pricing.
Yeah, I think most scoopers shoot for they really want $100 an hour, right? This is most scoopers. They're okay. They're at $80 an hour. They're pretty happy. $60 an hour is kind of like the minimum for a lot of people.
I shoot for a baseline of $1.50 an hour, and then up from there if I can.
Yeah, I did. I'm in the process of raising my prices to 91 of my recurring customers, and I'm pushing everyone to above $1.50 or more.